Capitalism, an economic system based on the private ownership of the means of production and the creation of goods and services for profit, has been the dominant economic system in the world for the past several centuries. However, it has faced numerous criticisms and debates over its sustainability and ability to deliver equitable outcomes for all members of society. In this video, we will examine the potential for capitalism to collapse in the long run and discuss some of the problems and potential solutions to these issues. Let's ask the AI if capitalism is sustainable in the long run, and about the potential issues and solutions to this system. One of the main criticisms of capitalism is that it is unsustainable due to its reliance on continuous economic growth. This growth is often achieved through the exploitation of natural resources and the creation of waste, leading to environmental degradation and climate change. For example, the use of fossil fuels to power industries and transportation has contributed significantly to greenhouse gas emissions and global warming. As the world population continues to grow and resources become increasingly limited, it is questionable whether capitalism can continue to provide for the needs of all people without causing irreparable harm to the planet. Another problem with capitalism is that it often leads to income and wealth inequality. Those who own the means of production, such as factories and businesses, have a greater ability to accumulate wealth, while those who work for these owners may struggle to make ends meet. For example, in the United States, the top 1% of earners hold a disproportionate share of the wealth, while the bottom 50% control just 1% of the wealth. This can lead to social and economic instability, as those who are left behind may become disillusioned with the system and demand change. Income and wealth inequality can also lead to political polarization, as those with more wealth may use it to influence political decisions in their favor, further exacerbating the divide between the haves and have-nots. In addition to these issues, capitalism has also been criticized for its lack of access to basic necessities, such as healthcare, education, and housing, for those who cannot afford to pay for them. For example, in the United States, the high cost of healthcare has led to many individuals being unable to afford necessary medical treatment, leading to preventable deaths and worsening health outcomes. This can create a vicious cycle where those who are unable to afford these necessities are unable to improve their economic situation, leading to further inequality and social unrest. Lack of access to education can also perpetuate the cycle of poverty, as those who are unable to afford a quality education may have limited job opportunities and may struggle to improve their economic situation. One potential solution to these problems is to adopt a more regulated form of capitalism, in which the government plays a larger role in ensuring that the needs of all members of society are met. This could include initiatives such as progressive taxation, universal healthcare and education, and social safety net programs. For example, in countries such as Sweden and Finland, the government provides universal healthcare and education to all citizens, leading to higher levels of social and economic equality. However, it is important to balance these regulations with the need for businesses to thrive and innovate, as capitalism can also serve as a powerful engine for economic growth and development. Another solution is to consider alternative economic systems, such as socialism or communism, which prioritize the needs of the community over the profits of a few individuals. These systems can be effective in reducing inequality and providing for the basic needs of all members of society, but they also have their own set of challenges, such as a lack of incentives for innovation and the potential for authoritarian rule. For example, communist regimes in the 20th century, such as the Soviet Union and China, were marked by widespread repression and human rights abuses. Another potential solution to the problems with capitalism is to adopt a more sustainable and equitable form of capitalism, which prioritizes the long-term well-being of both people and the planet. This could involve measures such as placing limits on resource extraction and pollution, incentivizing environmentally friendly practices, and implementing regulations to ensure that all members of society have access to basic necessities such as healthcare, education, and housing. One example of this approach is the concept of conscious capitalism, which advocates for businesses to prioritize the well-being of all stakeholders, including employees, customers, communities, and the environment, in addition to shareholders. This approach recognizes that businesses have a responsibility to create value not just for their owners, but for all members of society, and that this can be achieved through ethical and sustainable practices. Another example is the triple bottom line approach, which evaluates the social, environmental, and financial impacts of business decisions. This approach recognizes that the success of a business should not be solely measured by its financial performance, but should also take into account its impact on people and the planet. It is important to note that while these approaches may address some of the problems with capitalism, they may not be sufficient on their own to solve all of the issues. For example, income and wealth inequality may persist even with more sustainable and equitable forms of capitalism, and may require more comprehensive solutions such as progressive taxation and social safety net programs. In conclusion, the sustainability and potential collapse of capitalism is a complex and multifaceted issue that requires careful consideration of the strengths and weaknesses of the system. While it is clear that capitalism has the potential to create social and environmental problems, it has also proven to be a successful system in driving economic growth and development. Whether it can continue to do so in a sustainable and equitable manner will depend on the ability of society to address these issues and find solutions that balance the needs of all members of the community with the need for innovation and economic growth. This may involve reforms to the current system, such as the adoption of more regulated or sustainable forms of capitalism, or the exploration of alternative economic systems. The topic of capitalism is one that elicits strong opinions and emotions, and we encourage you to share your thoughts and perspectives in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel.